Hello everybody, welcome back to Tech Tuesday. I am Jason Bull, and today in this video we're going to be having a look at how to correctly set up your saddle position. Spending long hours or short ones in the saddle is part and parcel of the sport of mountain biking. And as much as sitting in a saddle is such a fundamental part of the sport, our saddle setup or saddle choice are things that we can often get wrong, which result in discomfort on the bike. In this video, we'll be focusing on how to correctly set up the saddle to put it in the correct position. But that being said, even if that is dialed on your bike and you have the wrong saddle for your body, you probably still will experience some discomfort. If that is the case, the best thing for you to do would be to head to your local bike shop, maybe get a saddle fitting done, and ideally find a saddle that is the correct width for your body and with the correct amount of padding for the amount of riding that you do. When it comes to getting that saddle into the correct position, there are three factors to consider. The first is the height of the saddle. Then there's also the tilt of the saddle, forward or backwards, and then the saddle's position on its rails, whether you've slid it quite far forward, quite far backwards, or in a more neutral position. Getting your saddle at the correct height allows you to pedal efficiently on the bike as the saddle supports your weight. Too low, and that can put quite a bit of strain on your knees and lower back, and too high can start to maybe injure your hips and also your lower back. A good way to get in the right ballpark for your saddle height is to sit on the saddle while it's at full extension, then rest your heel on the pedal with a straight leg while the pedal's at the bottom of the crank revolution. This should then mean that when you are clipped in or resting your foot on the pedal, there will be a slight bend in your knee. The shoes and pedals that you use may have an effect on this height, so you might need to adjust slightly from there. If you find that your hips are rocking slightly from side to side at this height, your saddle might be a touch too high. If you really are struggling to get your saddle height dialed in, it definitely is worth investing in a proper bike setup, which you can chat to your local bike shop about. The angle or tilt of the saddle is something that I have seen quite a few people getting wrong. As a baseline, you want to have it flat, level with the ground. The ideal way to set this up is to set your bike on some flat ground, such as a parking lot, and then adjust the appropriate bolts underneath the saddle until you find that the saddle is dead level with the ground. If you're looking for a more aggressive climbing position, you can try slightly tilting the nose of the saddle down. This should give you a bit more support on steeper climbs. Some people prefer to tilt the nose of the saddle slightly up, which makes the bike feel a bit better primed for descending, though this can compromise your pedaling performance and efficiency. Moving your saddle forwards or backwards on its rails will affect the effective seat tube angle of the bike as well as the reach of the bike while seated. Moving the saddle forwards on its rails will slightly shorten your seated reach of the bike and also steepen the effective seat tube angle. This could put you in a better position for climbing. Moving the saddle further backwards on the rails will result in a slightly longer seated reach of the bike and a slightly slacker effective seat tube angle. This can be better for flatter trails and slightly longer rides as you have a bit of a roomier cockpit. Alright, thank you for tuning in everybody. Hopefully there are a few helpful pointers in there. As usual, we encourage you to go out and make some of these adjustments to your bike and get a feel for how they affect your ride, and hopefully it will result in you enjoying your ride a bit more. If your saddle isn't right for your body, we definitely encourage you to go and get a proper saddle fitting done, and likewise if you're really struggling with this setup, proper bike setup is definitely a worthwhile investment. Until next time, keep it real.